Trust, but verify. That was Ronald Reagan. Welcome to Treehouse Talks. So let me start with a simple observation. We're living in the most expert-rich world in human history. At any moment, you can access a lawyer, a strategist, tax advisor, a consultant, often within seconds. And yet, when it really matters, and when the stakes are high, and when the decision is irreversible, then most people are still going to ask the same question. Who can I actually trust? And that's the conundrum. Because the problem today isn't access to expertise. It's access to trusted judgment. Choice has scaled, but trust hasn't. And that gap is costing leaders more than they realize. So let's look at a case study. I was working with a founder, and they had spent 25 years building a successful business. Now, this wasn't just a company. This was his legacy. And when it came time to exit, he did what a lot of people do. He went to the market, spoke to a number of advisors, and selected a firm that looked impressive on paper. Credentials, strong. Brand, recognizable. Pitch, convincing. But here's what he didn't have. He didn't have a trusted filter. And 6 months later, the deal completed, but the structure was wrong. The tax exposure was higher than necessary, key protections were not in place, and the outcome cost him several millions. Not because the expertise didn't exist, but because trust was misplaced. And this is happening everywhere. Executives choosing consultants who don't quite get it. Founders hiring advisors who optimize for fees and not outcomes. And families making generational decisions based on incomplete confidence. We've built systems that optimize for information, search engines, AI tools, and the marketplace. But we haven't built systems that optimize for judgment. And if we think about it, leadership at its core is not about having all of the answers. It's about knowing who to rely on when the answers matter most. The highest performing leaders I've worked with all have one thing in common. They don't just have networks. They have trusted networks. People who have been vetted not just for competence, but for alignment, integrity, and also track record. Because when the stakes are high, then you're not choosing a service. What you're actually choosing is a consequence. So here's the question that I'm going to leave with us today. Where in your business or your life are you currently operating with access but without certainty? And where are you relying on hope instead of trust? Because closing that gap may actually be the most valuable decision that you can make. If you want to understand how robust your current decision-making ecosystem really is, I'd encourage you to take the next step. Visit edwardklinger.com and complete the executive diagnostic. This has been Treehouse Talks, because in a world full of answers, your edge is knowing who to trust.